Welcome to the show. I'm Scully, the author that reads to you. Tonight, we're going to be reading the classic Stephen King story, The Shawshank Redemption. And we are privileged to present this iconic tale with an all-star cast. Trust me, they'll breathe life into the characters of Andy Dufresne, Red, and the rest of the Shawshank gang. As we take you into the heart of this narrative, prepare yourself to be made whole by the notion of hope, resilience, and friendship. But that's not all. As a token of appreciation for your unwavering support, our generous partner Nez Lover has offered an exciting giveaway. One lucky viewer tonight will have the chance to win an exquisite painting featuring a character from our story. It's a truly unique piece of art that captures the essence of the Shawshank Redemption. In addition, we have a special intermission planned for you during the 15-minute break. Nez Lover will showcase her incredible art inspired by the characters and themes of the Shawshank Redemption. It's a perfect opportunity to appreciate her talent and immerse yourself in the visual representation of this powerful story. So buckle up, it's quite the ride, and we'll see you on the other side. Without further ado, one of the stars of our show, Bingus, starring as Andy Dufresne. Welcome. It's burnt flowers falling. It's Mr. Red, aka Red Burnt Flowers Fall. Also playing Brooks Hatlen in various parts. Featuring Caucasian Sasquatch as Byron, Hadley, Bogs, and various characters. It's Nez Lover as Warden, Norton. Oh yeah, boom, chicka rock. The Okie Grower, playing Tommy and Haywood in various parts. Boom chicka meow, ska. And last but not least, let's give a big hand for our co-host and graphic overlay and design, Izzy Pop. It's the Shawshank Redemption. We're in the interior of a Plymouth at night. It's 1946. Andy Dufresne, mid-20s, wears wire-rimmed glasses. Three-piece suit. Under normal circumstances, a respectable, solid citizen. Hardly dangerous, perhaps even meek. But these circumstances are far from normal. He's disheveled, unshaven, and very drunk. The cigarette smolders in his mouth. His eyes, flaming hard, riveted to the bungalow up the path. He can actually hear him fucking from here. He raises a bottle of bourbon and knocks it back. The radio plays softly, painfully romantic, taunting him. We fade to black. It's a familiar scene. The DA holds the jury spellbound at the closing. DA muted. The DA holds the jury.
Sorry, I was muted. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all the evidence. You know all the facts. We have the accused at the scene of the crime. We have footprints, tire tracks, bullets scattered on the ground which bear his fingerprints, a broken bourbon bottle, likewise with fingerprints. Most of all, we have a beautiful young woman and her lover lying dead in each other's arms. They had sinned, but was their crime so great as to merit a death sentence?
He gestures to Andy, sitting quietly with his attorney.
I suspect Mr. Dufresne's answer to that would be yes. I further suspect he carried out that sentence on the night of September 21st, the year of our Lord 1946, by pumping 4 bullets into his wife and another 4 into Glenn Quinton.
The verdict is guilty.
You strike me as a particularly icy and remorseless man, Mr. Dufresne. It chills my blood just to look at you. By the power vested in me by the state of Maine, I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences, back to back, one for each of your victims, so be it. He raps his gavel as we now see a prison cell, its bars illuminated by the light. We're in the interior of the Shawshank hearing rooms in the day, 1947. Red enters, removes his cap and waits by the chair. You see by your file, you've served 20 years of a life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I've learned my lesson. I can honestly say I'm a changed man. I'm no longer a danger to society. That's God's honest truth. No doubt about it.
The men just stare at him. One stifles a yawn. Close up on the parole form. The big rubber stamp slams down, rejected. We're in the exercise yard at Shawshank, and its high stone walls topped with snaky concertina wire, set off at intervals by looming guard towers. Over 100 cons are in the yard, playing cats, shooting craps, jawing at each other, making deals. Exercise, period. Red emerges into the fading daylight, slouches low-key through the activity, worn cap on his head, exchanging hellos and doing minor business. He's an important man here.
There's a con like me in every prison in America, I guess. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer, if you're partial, a bottle of brandy to celebrate your kid's high school graduation. Damn near anything, within reason.
He slips somebody a pack of smokes, smooth sleight of hand.
Yes, sir, I'm a regular Sears and Roebuck.
We hear 2 short siren blasts issue from the main tower, drawing everybody's attention to the loading dock. The outer gate swings open, revealing a Craig prison bus outside.
So when Andy Dufresne came to me in 1949 and asked me to smuggle Rita Hayworth into the prison for him, I told him it was no problem, and it wasn't.
Red is joined by Haywood, Skeet, Floyd, Jigger, Ernie, and Snooze. Most cons crowd to the fence to gawk and jeer, but Red and his group mount the bleachers and settle in comfortably. Inside the prison bus, Andy sits in the back, wearing a steel collar and chains.
Andy came to Shawshank Prison in early 1947 for murdering his wife and the fella she was banging. On the outside, he had been a vice president of a large Portland bank. Good work for a man as young as he was, when you consider how conservative banks were back then.
Guards approach the bus with carbines. The door jerks open. The new fish disembark, chained together single file, blinking sourly at their surroundings. Byron Hadley, captain of the guard, slams his baton into Andy's back. Andy goes to his knees, gasping in pain.
Fresh fish.
Yeah, baby.
Fresh
Oh, come
fish.
on up and see me sometime.
On your feet before I fuck you up so bad you never walk again.
We paint her red.
There they are, boys. The human charm bracelet.
I ain't never seen such sorry looking heap of maggot shit in my life.
Coming from you, Haywood, you being so pretty and all.
Taking bets today, Red?
Bear Catholic Pope shit in the woods, smokes a coin. That is choice.
Smokes, put me down for 2.
High roller, who's your horse?
That gangly sack of shit, 3rd from the front. He'll be the 1st.
I see that chubby fat ass. Let's see, 5th from the front. Put me down for a quarter deck.
That's 5 cigarettes on fat ass. Any takers?
More hands go up. Andy and the others are paraded along, forced by their chains to take tiny baby steps, flinching under the barrage of jeers and shouts. The old-timers are shaking the fence, trying to make the newcomers shit their pants. Some of the new fish shout back. Mostly they look terrified, especially Andy.
I must admit, I didn't think much of Andy the first time I laid eyes on him. He might have been important on the outside, but in here, he just looked like a little turd in prison grays. Looked like a stiff breeze could blow him over. That was my first impression of the man.
What say, Red?
It fell on the end. Definitely. I'll stake half a pack. Any takers? Come on, boys. Who's going to prove me wrong? Floyd? Skeet? Joe Haywood. 4 brave souls, 10 smokes apiece. That's it, gentlemen. This window's closed.
Red pockets his notepad. The voice comes over the PA speakers.
Return to your cell blocks for evening count.
It's the admitting area at dusk. The new fish are marched in. Guards unlock the shackles. The chains drop away, rattling to the floor.
Eyes front.
Warden Samuel Norton strolls forth, a colorless man in a gray suit and a church pin in his lapel. He looks like he could piss ice water. He praises the newcomers with flinty eyes.
This is Mr. Hadley, Captain of the Guard. I am Mr. Norton, the Warden. You are sinners and scum. That's why they sent you to me. Rule number 1, no blaspheming. I'll not have the Lord's name taken in vain in my prison. The other rules you'll figure out as you go along. Any questions?
Cue by Norton's glance. Hadley steps up to the con and screams right in his face.
You eat when we say you eat. You piss when we say you piss. You shit when we say you shit. You sleep when we say you sleep. You maggot dick motherfucker.
Hadley rams the tip of his club into the con's belly. The man falls to his knees, gasping and clutching himself. Hadley takes his place at Norton's side.
Any other questions? I believe in 2 things, discipline and the Bible. Here, you'll receive both. Put your faith in the Lord. Your ass belongs to me. Welcome to Shawshank.
Off of them clothes, gentlemen. And I didn't say take all day doing it, did I?
Hadley shoves the first con into a steel cage open at the front. 2 guards open up with a fire hose. Con is slammed against the back of the cage, sputtering and hollering. Seconds later, the water is cut and the con yanked out.
Delouse that piece of shit. Next man in.
Cell block 5. 3 tiers to a side, concrete and steel, gray and imposing. Andy and the others are marched in, still naked, carrying their clothes and Bibles. The cons in their cells greet them with taunts, jeers, and laughter.
Woo!
No fish.
Fresh
Fishy,
fish.
fishy.
Got a word mouth, boy.
One by one, the new men are shown to their cells and locked in with a clank of steel.
The first night's the toughest, no doubt about it. They march in naked as the day you're born. Fresh from a Bible reading, skin burning, and half blind from that delousing shit they throw on you. And when they put you in that cell, and when those bars slam home, that's when you know it's for real. Old life blown away in the blink of an eye. A long, cold season in hell stretching out ahead. Nothing left but all the time in the world to think about it.
Red listens to the clanking below. He watches Andy and a few others being brought up to the second tier.
Most new fish come close to madness the first night. Somebody always breaks down crying. Happens every time. The only question is, who's it gonna be?
Andy is led past and given a cell at the end of the tier.
It's as good a thing to bet on as any, I guess. I had my money on Andy Dufresne.
We're in Andy's cell, the bars slam home. Andy's alone. He's clutching his clothes. He gazes around at his new surroundings, taking it in. Slowly begins to dress himself. Red lies on his bunk below us, tossing his baseball toward the ceiling and catching it again. He pauses, listening. Footsteps approach below, unhurried, echoing hollowly on stone.
It's lights,
Lights out.
Good night, ladies.
And the lights bump off in sequence. The guard exits, footsteps echoing away. Darkness now, silence.
I remember my first night. Seems a long time ago now.
Red looms from the darkness, leans on the bars, listens. He waits. Somewhere below comes faint, ghastly tittering. Voices drip through the cell block, taunting.
Fishy,
Fishy, darling.
fishy, fishy, fishy.
Pretty mouth.
Fresh
Ooh,
meat.
looks so good.
Make you wish your
My,
daddy
look
would
at
have
that
came on my
spread.
You taking this
Give me
down,
a
you
side
fish?
of that.
Gonna be cool later. Shh, keep it down. The screw's going here. The boys always go fishing with the first timers, and they don't quit till they reel someone in.
Fishy,
Fishy,
fishy.
Ooh, here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
You got a reel.
Let me see what that mouth do.
Pacing like a caged animal. Another sits on his cuticles, bloody. A third is weeping silently. Fourth is dry, heaving into the toilet. Red waits at the bars, smoking, listening. He cranes his head, peers down toward Andy's cell. Nothing, not a peep. And that's it. Badass lets out a loud wail of despair.
Oh God, I don't belong here. I want to go home.
Place goes nuts. Badass throws himself screaming against the bars. The entire block starts chanting.
Fresh fish,
Fresh
fresh fish, fresh
fish,
fish,
fresh
fresh fish, fresh fish.
I want to go home. I want my mother.
I had your mother. She wasn't that great.
The lights bump on. Guards pour in, led by Hadley himself.
What the Christ is this happy shit?
He took the Lord's name in vain. I'm telling the warden.
You'll be telling him with my baton up your ass.
Hadley arrives at Fat Ass's cell, bellowing through the bars.
What's your malfunction, you fat fucking barrel of monkey spunk?
Please! This ain't right! I ain't supposed to be here, not me!
I ain't gonna count to 3, not even to 1. Now shut the fuck up before I sing you a lullaby.
Fat Ass keeps blubbering and wailing until the freak out. Hadley draws his baton and gestures to his men, opening it. The guard unlocks the cell. Hadley pulls Fat Ass out and starts beating him with the baton, brutally raining down blows. Fat Ass falls and tries to crawl. The place goes dead silent. All we hear now is the dull thwack, thwack, thwack of the baton. Fat Ass passes out. Hadley gets in a few more licks and finally stops.
Get this tub of shit down to the infirmary. Now, boys, if I hear so much as a mouse fart in here for the rest of the night, by God, Sonny Genius, you'll all go to the infirmary. Every last motherfucker in here.
The guards wrestle Fat Ass onto a stretcher and carry him off. Lights off, darkness again, silence. It's Red staring through the bars at the main floor below. Eyes riveted to the small puddle of blood where Fat Ass went down.
His first night in the joint, Andy Dufresne cost me 2 packs of cigarettes. He never made a sound.
The mess hall in the morning, Andy goes through the breakfast line, gets a scoop of glop on his tray. A lot of noise and confusion. We discover Bogs Diamond and Rooster McBride watching Andy go by. Bogs sizes Andy up with a salacious gleam in his eye. Mutters something to Rooster. Rooster laughs. Andy finds a table occupied by Red and his regulars, chooses a spot at the end where nobody is sitting. Ignoring their stares, he picks up his spoon, pauses, seeing something. It's in his food. He carefully fishes it out with his fingers. It's a squirming maggot. He grimaces, unsure what to do with it. Brooks Hatlen is sitting closest to Andy. At age 65, he's a senior citizen, a long-standing resident.
You're gonna eat that?
Oh, well, no, I hadn't planned on it.
You mind?
Andy passes the maggot to Brooks. Brooks examines it, rolling it between his fingers like a man checking out a fine cigar. Andy is riveted with apprehension.
Nice and ripe.
Andy can't bear to watch. Brooks opens up his sweater and feeds the maggot to a baby crow nestled in an inside pocket. Andy breathes a sigh of relief.
Jake says thanks. Fell out of the nest that are over by the plate shop. I'm looking after him till he's old enough to fly.
Andy nods, proceeds to eat. Carefully, Haywood approaches. You there, Okie? Is Okie muted? Let's see if we can't get Okie into the fray here.
I think Nez muted him. Not Nez, I'm sorry.
Okie, paging Okie.
Hello.
There you go. You're good.
Hello.
Hello.
You there, buddy?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Page 14.
Man, I don't.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm following along. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. No, I don't have any control of my phone, the chat, nothing. So I don't know what's going on. Just throwing that out there.
Well, let's see. Can you got your script all right?
Yep. Morning, boys.
Oh, good.
I've been following along, man. I've been reading. You just haven't been able to hear me, I guess.
Okay. I think we got it figured out. Awesome. Haywood plops his tray down and sits. The men start pulling out cigarettes and handing them down.
That's right. Send them all down. I want to see them all lined up in a row. Pretty as a chorus line.
An impressive pile forms. Haywood bends down and inhales deeply, smelling the aroma. Rapture.
Smell my ass.
Gee, Red. Terrible shame your horse coming in last and all. Hell, I sure do love that horse of mine. I believe I owe that boy a big sloppy kiss when I see him.
Give him some of your cigarettes instead, you cheap bastard.
Hey, Tyrell, you pull infirmary duty this week? How's that whining horse of mine anyway?
Dead. Hadley busted his head pretty good. Doc already went home for the night. Poor bastard laid at it this morning. By then.
He shakes his head, turned back to his food. The silence mounts. Haywood glances around. Men resume eating.
What was his name? What was his name?
What? What'd you say?
I was wondering if anyone knew his name.
What the fuck you care, new fish? Doesn't matter what his fucking name was. He's dead.
We're in the prison laundry, a deafening noise of industrial washers and presses. Andy works the laundry line. Exercise period. Red plays catch with Haywood and Jigger, lazily tossing a baseball around. Red notices Andy off to the side. He nods hello. We see Andy taking this as a cue to amble over. Haywood and Jigger pause, watching.
Hello, I'm Andy Dufresne.
Red glances at the hand, ignores it. The game continues.
The wife-killing banker.
How'd you know that?
I keep my ear to the ground. Why'd you do it?
I didn't, since you asked.
Hell, you fit right in there. Everyone is innocent here. Don't you know that? Hey, Wood. What you in for, boy?
Didn't do it. Lawyer fucked me.
Red gives Andy a look, see.
What else have you heard?
People say you're a cold fish. They say you think your shit smells sweeter than ordinary. That true?
What do you think?
Ain't made my mind up yet.
I see. Well, I understand you're a man who knows how to get things.
I'm known to locate certain things from time to time. They seem to fall in my hands. Maybe it's because I'm Irish.
I wonder if you could get me a rockhammer.
What is it and why?
You make your customers' motives a part of your business?
Well, if you wanted a toothbrush, I wouldn't ask questions. I just quote a price. A toothbrush, you see, is a non-lethal sort of object.
Fair enough. A rockhammer is about 8 or 9 inches long. It looks like a miniature pickaxe with a small, sharp pick on one end and a blunt hammerhead on the other. It's for rocks.
Rocks.
Andy squats, motions Red to join him. He grabs a handful of dirt and sifts it through his hands. He finds a pebble and rubs it clean. It has a nice milky glow. He tosses it to Red.
Quartz.
Quartz, sure. And look, mica, shale, silted granite. There's some grade limestone from when they cut this place out of the hill.
So?
I'm a rock hound. At least I was in my old life. I'd like to be again on a limited scale.
Yeah, or maybe plant your toy in somebody's skull.
I have no enemies here.
No, you just wait.
Red flicks his gaze past Andy. Bogs is watching him.
Word gets around. Sisters taking a real shine to you. Yes, they have. Especially Bogs.
Tell me something. Would it help if I explained to them I'm not a homosexual?
Neither are they. You have to be human first. They don't qualify. Bold queers take by force. That's all they want or understand. I'd grow eyes in the back of my head if I were you.
Well, thanks for the advice.
That comes free, but you understand my concern.
If there's trouble, I doubt a rockhammer will do me any good.
Then I guess you'll want to escape. Under the wall, maybe? What, I missed the joke? What's so funny?
You'll know when you see the rockhammer.
What's this item usually go for?
$7 in any rock shop or gem shop.
My standard markup's 20%, but we're talking about a special object. Risk goes up, price goes up. Call it $10 even.
I understand. Thank you, Mr.
Red. The name's Red.
Red, I'm Andy. Pleasure doing business with you.
They shake hands and Andy strolls off. Red watches him go.
I could see why some of the boys took him for snobby. He had a quiet way about him, a walk and a talk that just wasn't normal around here. He strolled like a man in a park, without a care or worry, like he had on an invisible coat that would shield him from this place. Yes, I would think it'd be fair to say I liked Andy from the start.
We're back in the prison laundry. Leonard catches Red's eye, turns and grabs a specific stack of clean sheets. He hands it across to Red. 2 packs of cigarettes slide out of Red's hand into Leonard's. Red's cell in the day we see slipping the package out of the sheets, carefully checks to make sure nobody's coming, then rips it open. He pulls out the rock hammer. It's just as Andy described.
Andy was right. I finally got the joke. It would take a man about 600 years to tunnel under the wall with one of these.
Cell block 5, second tier at night. Brooke nods, never missing a beat. He rolls his car to Andy's cell, mutters through the bars.
Middle shelf wrapped in a towel.
Andy's hand snakes through the bars and makes the object disappear. The hand comes back and deposits a small slip of folded paper along with more cigarettes. Brooks turns his cart around and goes back. He pauses, sorting his books long enough for Red to snag the slip of paper. Brooks continues on, scooping the cigarettes off the card into his pocket. Andy plods through his days, working, eating, chipping and shaping his rocks after lights out.
Things went on like that for a while. Prison life consists of routine, and then more routine.
Andy walks the yard, face swollen and bruised.
Every so often, Andy would show up with fresh bruises.
Andy eats breakfast. A few tables over, Bog blows him a kiss.
The sisters kept at him. Sometimes he was able to fight them off, sometimes not.
Andy backs into a corner in some dingy part of the prison, wildly swinging a rake at his tormentors.
He always fought. That's what I remember. He fought because he knew if he didn't fight, it would make it that much easier not to fight the next time.
The rake connects, snapping off somebody's skull over. They beat the hell out of him.
Half the time, it landed him in the infirmary. The other time, well, he was in solitary.
We're in the interior of the prison laundry today. It's 1949. Andy is working the line.
And that's how it went for Andy. That was his routine. I do believe those first 2 years were the worst for him. And I also believe if things had gone on that way, this place would have got the best of him. But then in the spring of 1949, the powers to be that decided that
Nez, you read it?
She's coming back. She got booted out.
Okay.
Sorry.
Roof of the license plate
sorry,
factory needs resurfacing. I need a dozen volunteers for a week's work. We're going to be taking names in this steel bucket here.
Red glances around at his friends. Andy also catches his eye.
It was outdoor detail, and May is one damn fine month to be working outdoors.
In the prison yard, we see Cons shuffling past, dropping slips of paper into a bucket.
More than 100 men volunteered for the job.
Sorry. Red saunters to a guard named Tim Youngblood, mutters discreetly in his ear. Youngblood's pulling names and reading them off. Red exchanges grins and with Andy and the others.
Wouldn't you know it? Me and some of the fellas I know was some of the names called.
In the prison and corridor at night, Red slips Youngblood 6 packs of cigarettes.
Only cost us a pack of smokes per man, and I made my usual 20%, of course.
We're back at the license plate factory. The men are dipping big pad brushes and spreading the tar. Hadley bitching sourly to his fellow guards.
So this shithead lawyer calls, long distance from Texas, and he says, Byron Hadley? I say, yeah. He says, sorry to inform you, but your brother just died.
Damn, Byron, sorry to hear that.
All right, it was an asshole. Run off years ago. Family ain't heard of him since. I figured him for dead anyway. So this lawyer prick says, your brother died a rich man. Oil wells and shit. Close to $1 million. Jesus, it's freaking incredible how some lucky assholes can get.
$1 million? Jeez,
$1 million?
You gonna see any of that?
$35,000. That's what he left me.
Dollars? Holy shit, that's great. That's like winning the lottery, ain't it?
Done shit. What do you figure the government's going to do to me? Take a big wet bite out of my ass is what?
No, I hadn't thought that.
Maybe leave me enough to buy a new car. Then what happens? You pay tax on the car, repairs, maintenance, goddamn kids pestering you to take them for a ride.
Red glances over. He's shocked to see Andy standing up, listening to the guards talk.
Psst, Andy, you nuts? Keep your eyes on your pail.
He tosses his pad in the bucket and strolls toward Hadley.
Andy, come back. Shit.
Mr. Hadley, do you trust your wife?
That's funny. You're going to look funnier sucking my dick with no fucking teeth.
What I mean is, do you think she'd go behind your back, try to hamstring you?
That's it, boys. Step aside. This motherfucker's about to have an accident.
Hadley grabs Andy's collar and propels him violently toward the edge of the road. The cons furiously keep spreading tar.
Oh, God, he's going to do it. He's going to throw him off the roof.
Hang on, if you do trust her, there's no reason in the world you can't keep every cent of that money.
You better start making
jerks it. He stops him right at the edge.
You better start making sense.
If you want to keep that money, all of it, just give it to your wife. You see, the IRS allows you a one-time gift to your spouse. It's good up to $60,000.
Nah, that ain't right. Tax-free?
Tax-free. IRS can't touch 1 cent.
The cons are pausing work, stunned by the business discussion.
Hey, you're the smart banker that shot his wife. Why should I believe a smart banker like you? Says I can wind up in here with you?
It's perfectly legal. Go ask the IRS. They'll say the same thing. Actually, I feel silly telling you all this. I'm sure you would have investigated the matter yourself.
Fucking A. I don't need no smart wife-killing banker to show me where the bear shit in the buckwheat.
Of course not. But you will need someone to set up a tax-free gift, and that'll cost you. A lawyer, for example.
Ambulance chasing, highway robbing cocksuckers, everyone.
Or, come to think of it, I suppose I could set it up for you. That would save you some money. I'll write down the forms you need. You can pick them up, and I'll prepare them for you for your signature, nearly free of charge. I'd only ask 3 beers apiece for my co-workers, if that seems fair.
Hadley freezes and with a look. Andy presses on.
I think a man working outdoors feels more like a man if he can have a bottle of suds. That's only my opinion.
The convicts stand gaping, all pretense of work gone. They look like they've been poleaxed. Hadley shoots them a look.
What are you, Jimmy, staring at? Back to work, goddammit.
We're back at the license plate factory as before. An object is hauled up the side of the building by the road. Only this time it's a cooler of beer and ice.
And that's how it came to pass. On the second to last day of the job, the convict crew that tarred the plate factory in the factory roof in spring of 49
Cons are taking the sun and drinking beer.
wound up sitting in a row at 10 o'clock in the morning drinking ice-cold Black Label beer, courtesy of the hottest screw that ever walked a turn at Shawshank State Prison.
Drink up, boys, while it's cold.
The colossal prick even managed to sound magnanimous.
Red knocks back another sip, enjoying the bitter cold on his tongue and the warm sun on his face.
We sat and drank with the sun on our shoulders and felt like free men. We could have been tar on the roof of one of our own houses. We were the lords of all creation.
He glances over at Andy squatting apart from the others.
As for Andy, he spent that break hunkered in the shade, with a strange little smile on his face watching us drink his beer.
Here's a cold one, Andy.
No thanks. I gave up drinking.
Haywood drifts back to the others, giving them a look.
You could argue you done it for curry a favor for the gods, or maybe make a few friends among us cons. Me? I think you did it just to feel normal again, if only for a short while.
Prison yard on the bleachers. Andy and Red play checkers. Red makes his move.
How's that rockhammer working out for you anyway? Scratch your name in the wall yet?
Not yet. I suppose I should.
Andy, I guess we're getting to be friends, ain't we?
I suppose we are.
Ask you a question. Why'd you do it?
I'm innocent, remember? Just like everybody else here.
Red takes this as a gentle rebuff. Keeps playing.
What are you in for, Red?
Murder? Same as you.
Innocent?
The only guilty man in Shawshank.
Andy lies in his bunk after lights out, polishing a fragment of quartz by the light of the moon. He pauses, glancing at all the names scratched in the wall. He rises to make sure the coast is clear. Starts scratching his name into the cement with his rockhammer, adding to the record. While a convict audience hoots and catcalls, talking back to the screen, we find Red slouched in a folding chair watching the movie. Andy enters, backlit by the flickering glare of the projector, and takes a seat next to him.
Hey, Red, come on. Hey, can we talk business?
Sure, what do you want?
Rita Hayward, can you get her?
No problem. Take a few weeks.
We.
I don't have a stuff down my pants this very moment. I'm sorry to say, relax. What are you so nervous about? She's just a woman.
All right.
Andy nods, embarrassed. He gets up and hurries out. Red grins, turns back to the movie. Andy exits the theater and freezes in his tracks. 2 dark figures loom in the corridor. Rooster and Pete. Andy turns back and runs right in the ball. Instant bear hug. The sisters are on him like a flash. They kick the door open and drag him into the projection booth, where they are confronted by the startled projectionist and old con blinking at them through thick bifocals.
Take a walk.
I have to change the reels.
Said fuck off.
Terrified, the old man darts past and out the door. He slams and locks it. Bob shoves Andy to the center of the room.
Ain't you gonna scream, sweetie?
Andy sighs and cocks his head at the projector.
They'd never hear me over that. Let's just get it over with.
Seemingly resigned, Andy turns away. Leans on the rewind bench, curls his fingers around a full 1,000-foot reel of 35mm film. Rooster licks his lips and pushes past the others.
Me first.
Okay, motherfucker, here goes.
Andy whips the reel of film around in a vicious arc, smashing it in the rooster's face. He bounces him off the wall.
Shit! Broke my nose!
He fights like hell, but is soon overpowered and forced to his knees. Bogs steps to Andy, pulls out an awl with a vicious 8-inch spike, gives him a good long look at him.
Now I'm gonna open my fly and you're gonna swallow what I give you to swallow. When you do mine, you're gonna swallow Rooster's. You done broke his nose, so you ought to have something to show for it.
Anything you put in my mouth, you're gonna lose.
Oh, you don't understand, sweetie. You do that, and I'll put all 8 inches of this steel in your ear.
Huh, okay. But you should know that sudden serious brain injury causes a victim to bite down hard. In fact, I understand the bite reflex is so strong, the victim's jaws have to be pried open with a crowbar.
Andy gets a boot heel in the face. The sisters start kicking and beating the living hell out of him with anything they can get their hands on.
Bogs didn't put in anything in Andy's mouth that night, and neither did his friends. But what they did do was beat him within an inch of his life.
He's really low.
Let's try that again, Red. That's too low.
Bogs didn't put in anything in Andy's mouth that night, and neither did his friends. What they did do was beat him within an inch of his life.
We're in the infirmary. Andy lies wrapped in bandages.
Andy spent a month in traction.
We're in solitary confinement. Day
Bogs spent a week in the hole.
Bogs sits on bare concrete. The steel door slides open. Time's up, Bogs.
Time's up, Bogs.
Cell block 5, third tier at dusk. Bogs comes up the stairs smoking a cigarette. Not many cons around. Place is virtually deserted. A voice echoes dimly over the PA system.
Return to your cell blocks for evening count.
Bogs enters his cell. It's dark. He fumbles for the light. Yanks the cord. Sudden light reveals Captain Hadley 6 inches from his face, waiting for him. Mert steps in behind Bogs, hemming him. Before Bogs can even open his mouth to say, "What the fuck?" Hadley rams the tip of his baton brutally into the solar plexus. Bogs doubles over, gagging his wind out.
2 things never happened again after that. The sisters never laid a finger on Andy again. And Bogs never walked again. They transferred him to a minimum security hospital upstate. To my knowledge, he lived out the rest of his days drinking his food through a straw. Andy, I'm thinking Andy could use a welcome back present when he gets out of the infirmary. What do you say, boys?
Sounds good to us. Figure we owe him for the beer.
The man likes to play chess. Let's get him some rocks.
There's a laundry in the back room. A huge detergent box is filled with rocks, hidden in the shadows behind the boiler furnace.
And by the week that Andy was due back, we had enough rocks saved up to keep him busy till rapture. Also got a big shipment in that week. Cigarettes, chewing gum, shoelaces, little playing cards with naked ladies on them. You name it. And of course, the most important item.
Andy's cell at night. Norton arrives, makes a thin show of picking a cell at random. He motions at Andy on his bunk, reading his Bible. The door is unlocked. Norton enters, trailed by his men. Andy rises.
Good evening.
Norton gives a curt nod. Hadley and Trout start tossing the cell in a thorough search. Norton keeps his eyes on Andy, looking for a wrong glance or a nervous blink. He takes the Bible out of Andy's hand.
I'm pleased to see you reading this. Any favorite passages?
Well, yes. Watch thee, therefore, for thee not know wheneth the master of the house cometh.
Luke chapter 13, verse 35. I've always liked that one. But I prefer, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
Ah, yes. John chapter 8, verse 12.
I hear you're good with numbers. How nice. A man should have a skill.
You want to explain this?
Andy glances over. Hadley's holding up a rock blanket, polishing cloth roughly the size of an oven mitt.
It's called a rock blanket. It's for shaping and polishing rocks. A little hobby of mine.
Hadley glances at the rocks lining the windowsill, turns to Norton.
Looks pretty clean. Some contraband here. Nothing to get in a twist over.
Norton nods, strolls to the poster of Rita.
I can't say I approve of this. But I suppose exceptions can always be made.
Norton exits. The guards follow. Cell door slammed and locked. Norton pauses, turns back.
I almost forgot.
He reaches through the bars and returns the Bible to Andy.
I'd hate to deprive you of this. Salvation lies within.
Norton and his men walk away.
Tossing cells was just an excuse. Truth is, Norton wanted to size Andy up.
Warden Norton's office. Andy is let in. Norton's at his desk doing paperwork. Andy's eyes go to a framed needlepoint sampler on the wall behind him that reads, "His judgment cometh, and that right soon."
My wife made that in church group.
It's very pretty, sir.
You like working in the laundry?
No, sir, not especially.
Perhaps we can find something more befitting a man of your education.
From the main building to the storage rooms, a series of bleak rooms stacked high with unused filing cabinets, desks, paint supplies, etc. Andy enters. He hears a flutter of wings. An adult crow lands on a filing cabinet and struts back and forth, checking him out. Andy smiles.
Hey, Jake. Where's Brooks?
Brooks Hatlen pokes his head out of the back room.
Andy, I thought I heard you out here.
I've been reassigned to you.
I know, they told me. Ain't that a kick in the ass? Come on in, I'll give you the dime tour.
Shawshank Prison Library. Brooks leads Andy into the bleakest back room of all. Rough plank shelves are lined with books. Brooks' private domain.
Here she is, the Shawshank Prison Library. Along this side, we got the National Geographics, and on that side there, we got the Reader's Digest condensed books. Bottom shelf here is some Louis D'Amour and Earl Stanier Gagneres. Every night, I pile up a cot and make my rounds. I write down the names on this clipboard here, and well, that's it. Easy peasy, Japanesey. Any questions?
Andy pauses, Something about this doesn't make any sense.
Brooks, how long have you been librarian?
Since 1912, 37 years.
In all that time, have you ever had an assistant?
Never needed one. Not much to it, is there?
So why now? I mean, why me?
I don't know. It'd be nice to have some company down here for a change.
Dufresne!
Andy steps back in the outer rooms and finds Hadley with another guard, a huge fella named Deacons.
That's him. That's the one.
Hadley exits. Deacons approaches Andy ominously. Andy stands his ground, waiting for whatever comes next.
I'm Deacons. I've been thinking about maybe setting up some kind of trust fund for my kids' educations.
Andy covers his surprise. He glances at Brooks, and Brooks smiles.
Well, I see. Well, why don't you have a seat and let's talk it over?
Pull down one of them desks there.
Andy and Deacons grab a desk standing on end and tilt it to the floor. They find chairs and settle in. Brooks returns with a table, tablet of paper, and a pen, slides them before Andy.
So what did you have in mind? A weekly draw on your pay, perhaps?
Yeah, I figured just stick it in the bank, but Captain Hadley said check with you first.
He was right. You don't want your money in a bank.
I don't?
I mean, what's that going to earn you? 2.5%, maybe 3% a year? We can do a lot better than that. So tell me, Mr. Dinkins, where do you want to send your kids? To Harvard or Yale?
Fade to the interior of the mess hall at day.
He didn't say that.
God is my witness. And Deacons, he just blinks for a second, laughs his ass off, and then actually shook Andy's hand.
My ass.
Shook his hand. I just about shit myself. All Andy needed was a suit and a tie and a little jiggly hula girl on his desk, and he would have been Mr. Dufresne, if you please. Making yourself some friends, Andy?
I wouldn't say friends. I'm a convicted murderer who provides sound financial planning. That's a wonderful little pet to have around.
It got you out of the laundry, didn't it?
Maybe you can do more than that. How about expanding the library? Get some new books in here.
How you expect to do that, Mr. Dufresne, if you please?
Well, ask the warden for funds.
Son. I've had 6 wardens through here through my tenure, and I've learned one great immutable truth of the universe. Ain't one of them been born whose asshole don't pucker up tighter as a snare drum when you ask him for funds.
Fade to the main building hallway. We see Norton and Andy walking up the hall.
Not a dime. My budget's stretched thin as it is.
I see. Well, perhaps I could write to the state senate and request funds directly from them.
Far as them Republican boys in Augusta are concerned, there's only 3 ways to spend a taxpayer's hard-earned when it comes to prisons. More walls, more bars, more guards.
Still, I'd like to try, with your permission, of course. I'll send a letter a week. They can't ignore me forever.
Sure they can, but you write your letters if it makes you happy. I'll even mail them for you. How's that?
Fade to Andy's cell at night, 1949. He's on his bunk writing a letter.
So Andy started writing a letter a week, just like he said. And just like Norton said, Andy got no answers. But he kept on. The following April, Andy did the tax returns for half the guards at Shawshank. The year after that, he did them all, including the wardens. Yes, sir, Andy was a regular H&R Block. In fact, he got so busy at tax time, he was allowed a staff.
We paid to see Andy and Red Brooks doing filing chores.
Say, Red, could you hand me a stack of those 1040s, please?
Got me out of the wood shop a month out of the year, and that was damn fine by me.
We're at the guard desk, Norton's outer office at day. Andy enters and drops a letter on the outgoing stack.
And he still kept sending those letters.
In the exercise yard, Floyd runs in and, scared and winded, he finds Andy and Red on the bleachers.
Red! Andy! It's Brooks!
Prison library, Andy's office. Floyd rushes in with Andy and Red at his heels. They find Jigger and Snooze trying to calm Brooks, who has Haywood in a chokehold and a knife to his throat. Haywood is terrified.
Come on, Brooksy. Why don't you just calm the fuck down, okay?
Goddamn miserable puke-eating sons of horse.
Kicks over a table, tax files explode through the air.
What the hell's going on?
Tell me, man. 1 second he was fine, and out comes a knife. I better get the guards.
No, we'll handle this. Ain't that right, Brooks? Just settle down and we'll talk about it, okay?
There ain't nothing to talk about. It's all talked out. Nothing left now but to cut his fucking throat.
Why? What's Haywood doing to you?
That's what they want. That's the price I gotta pay.
Andy steps forward, rivets Brooks with a gaze.
Brooks, you're not going to hurt Haywood. We all know that. Even Haywood knows it, right, Haywood?
Sure. I know that. Sure. Yeah.
Why? Ask anyone. They'll tell you. Brooks Hatlen is a reasonable man.
Yeah, that's right. That's what everybody says.
You're not fooling anybody, so just put the damn knife down and stop scaring the shit out of people.
But it's the only way to let me stay.
The storm is over. Haywood staggers free. Andy takes the knife, passes it to Red. Brooks dissolves in Andy's arms with great heaving sobs.
Take it easy, friend. You'll be all right.
Him? What about me? Crazy old fool. I damn near slipped my throat.
You've had words from Shaven. What'd you do to set him off?
Nothing. Just come in here to say fare thee well. All Felix. Ain't you heard? His parole come through.
Red and Andy exchange a surprised look. Andy wants to understand. Red just motions to let it be for now. Puts his arm around Brooks, who sobs inconsolably.
Ain't that bad, old horse. Won't be long till you're squiring pretty young girls on your arm and tell them lies.
We're outside the prison yard bleachers at dusk.
You know, I just don't understand what happened in there, that's all.
Old man's crazy as a rat in a tin shithouse is what?
Haywood, enough. Ain't nothing wrong with Brooksy. He just institutionalized, that's all.
Institutionalized my ass.
Man's been here 50 years. Plays all he knows. And here, he's an important man. An educated man. A librarian. Out there, he's nothing but a used-up old con with arthritis in both hands. Couldn't even get a library card if he was applying. You know what I'm saying?
Red, I do believe you're talking out your ass.
Believe what you want. But these walls are funny. First you hate them, then you get used to them. After long enough, you get to depend on them. That's institutionalized.
Shit, I could never get that way.
Say that when you've been in the side as long as Brooksy has.
You're goddamn right. They send you here for life, and that's just what they take. Part that counts anyways.
Library at dawn. Brooks stands on a chair, poised at the bars of a window, cradling Jake in his hands.
I can't take care of you no more, Jake. You go on now. You're free.
He tosses Jake through the bars. The crow flaps away. We fade to the exterior. Shawshank main gate. 2 short siren blasts herald the opening of the gate. It swings hugely open, revealing Brooks standing in his cheap suit, carrying a cheap bag, wearing a cheap hat. Brooks walks out, tears streaming down his face. He looks back. Red, Andy, and the others stand at the inner fence, seeing him off. The massive gate closes, wiping them from view. Brooks is riding the bus, clutching the seat before him, gripped by terror of speed and motion.
Dear fellas, I can't believe how fast things move on the outside. I saw an automobile once when I was young, but now they're everywhere. The world went and got itself in a big damn hurry.
He arrives at the Brewster. It ain't much to look at. We're in the Brewster, and a woman leads Brooks up the stairs toward the top floor. He has trouble climbing so many stairs.
No music in your room after 8 p.m. No guests after 9. No cooking except on the hot plate.
People even talk faster and louder.
We're in the interior of Brooks' room in date 1954. Brooks enters. The room is small, old, and dingy.
The parole board got me into this halfway house called the Brewster, and a job bagging groceries at the foodway.
Make sure he double bags. Last time your man didn't double bag and the bottom nearly came out.
You double bag like the lady says, understand?
Yes, the double bag surely will. It's hard work, and I try to keep up, but my hands hurt most of the time. I don't think the store manager likes me very much.
We're in the park at day. Brooks sits alone on a bench feeding pigeons.
Sometimes after work, I go to the park and feed the birds. I keep thinking Jake might show up and say hello, but he never does. I hope wherever he is, he's doing okay and making new friends.
Fade to Brooks's room at night. It's dark. Brooks wakes up disoriented. He's afraid. Somewhere in the night, a loud argument is taking place.
I have trouble sleeping at night. The bed's too big and I have bad dreams like I'm falling. I wake up scared. It makes me takes me a while to remember where I am. Maybe I should go get me a gun and rob the foodway so they'd send me home. I could shoot the manager while I was at it like a bonus.
Brooks's room, he's packing his worldly possessions into the carry bag, undershirt, socks, etc.
But I guess I'm too old for that sort of nonsense anymore.
Shortly later, Brooks is dressed in a suit. He finishes knotting his tie, puts his hat on his head. The letter lies on the desk, stamped and ready for mailing. His bag's by the door.
I don't like it here, and I'm tired of being afraid all the time. I've decided not to stay.
He takes one look around, one last look, only one thing left to do. He steps to a wooden chair in the center of the room, pulls out his pocket knife, glances up at the ceiling beam. He steps up onto the chair. It wobbles queasily. Now facing the beam, he carves a message into the wood. Brooks Hatlen was here. He smiles with a sort of inner peace.
I doubt they'll kick up any fuss. Not for an old crook like me.
Close on the chair. His weight shifts on the wobbly chair and it goes out from under him. His feet remain where they are. Kicking feebly in midair, his back falls to the floor. The angle widens as we see Brooks has hanged himself, swinging gently facing the open window. Traffic noises float up from below. Wow, what an awesome performance so far. Let's give everybody a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, as we reach the midpoint of our live theater reading of the Shawshank Redemption. We want to take a moment to appreciate the incredible talent of our cast for bringing these characters to life. Your applause and support truly mean the world to us. Now it's time for a 15-minute intervention.
Intervention.
Intermissions.
Permission.
During this break, we invite you to enjoy Nez Lover's captivating art inspired by the world of the Shawshank Redemption. This is your chance to see the story through a different lens and immerse yourself in the visual representation of the story. So grab a refreshment, stretch your legs, and get ready to return for the second half of our reading. Thank you for being a part of this remarkable journey.
Bing, bing.
Y'all don't be slow to grow. Hit that thumbs up. Be sure to share this out. Call your friends and family. Grow your network with some good people. With some good people.
Angela Critters, Angela Critters. King Monarchy, King Monarchy. Jonica, Jonica, Jonica. There it is. Ariel Williams. Everybody having fun? Tingle, tingle, Welcome back, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the intermission. Had a chance to appreciate Nez Lover's stunning artwork, inspired by the Shawshank Redemption. Now it's time to delve back into the story as we continue following Andy and Red through their journey of hope and redemption. Second half promises even more twist emotions and unforgettable moments. So without further ado, let's rejoin the world of the Shawshank Redemption. We're outside in the exercise yard in the day. Andy reads the letter to Red and the others.
Yeah, and towards the end here he says, P.S. Tell Haywood I'm sorry I put a knife to his throat. No hard feelings.
A long silence. Andy folds the letter and puts it away.
He should have died in here, damn it.
Shawshank corridors. Hadley's pissed off.
Dufresne, what the fuck did you do? Your ass, Warden's office now.
Andy shoots a worried look at Red, then heads off. We're at the outer office of Warden. Dozens of parcel boxes litter the floor. Wiley, the duty guard, picks through them. Hadley enters, trailed by Andy.
What is all this?
You tell me, fuckstick. They're addressed to you, every damn one.
Huh, hang on. Dear Mr. Dufresne, in response to your repeated inquiries, the state Senate has allocated the enclosed funds for your library project. Wow. This is $200. In addition, the library district has generously responded with a charitable donation of used books and sundries. We trust this will fill your needs. We now consider the matter closed. Please stop sending us letters. Yours truly, the state comp controller. Wow.
Andy gazes around at the boxes. The riches of the world lay at his feet. His eyes mist with emotion at the sight.
I want all this cleared out before the warden gets back. I shit you not.
Hadley exits. Andy touches the boxes like a love-struck man touching a beautiful woman.
Wow. It only took 6 years. Well, from now on, I'm sending 2 letters a week instead of 1.
He gets giddy, ripping boxes open and pulling out books, touching them, smelling them. He rips open another box. This one contains an old phonograph player. Industrial gray and green, the words Portland Public School District. Andy reverently slips a stack from the box and starts flipping through them. Use Nat King Cole's, Bing Crosby's, etc. He comes across a certain album, Mozart's Le Nozze di Figaro. He pulls it from the stack, gazing upon it as a man transfixed. It's a thing of beauty. It is the Grail. We fade to the bathroom where Wally sits in one of the stalls, Jughead comic on his knees. Meanwhile, Andy wrestles with the record player on the guard desk, sweeping things onto the floor in his haste. He plugs the machine in. He slides the Mozart album from its sleeve, lays it on the platter, and lowers the tone arm to his favorite cut. It's Dutino Che Suave Zeffretto, a duet sung by Susanna and the Contessa. Back in the bathroom, Wally pauses, reading puzzled. He thinks he hears music. Andy shoots a look at the bathroom and smiles. Go for broke. He lunges to his feet and barricades the front door, then the bathroom. He returns to his desk and positions the PA microphone. He works up his courage and then flicks all the toggles to on. Squill feedback echoes briefly. Suddenly, we hear everywhere Mozart broadcasting throughout the prison. Tearing at the bathroom while he lunges to his feet, pants tingling around his ankles. Cons all over the prison stop watching what they're doing. They're freezing in mid-step to listen, gazing up at the speakers. Andy's reclined in the chair, transported, arms fluidly conducting music. Ecstasy and rapture. Shawshank no longer exists. It's been banished from the mind of men.
I have no idea to this day what them two Italian ladies were singing about. Truth is, I don't want to know. Some things are best left unsaid. I'd like to think they were singing about something so beautiful it can't be expressed in words, and it makes your heart ache because of it. Tell you, those voices soared higher and farther than anybody in this gray place dares to dream. It was like some big, beautiful bird flapped into our drab little cage and make these walls dissolve away. And for the briefest of moments, every man at Shawshank felt free.
In the prison corridor, we see Norton striding up the hallway with Hadley.
It pissed the warden off something terrible.
Norton and Hadley break the door in. Andy looks up with a sublime smile. We hear Wally pounding on the bathroom door.
Andy got 2 weeks in the hole for that little stunt.
Solitary confinement. Andy doesn't seem to mind. His arms sweep to the music, still playing in his head. We hear a faint echo of a soaring duet. Fade to the mess hall, a day 1955. We fade to the mess hall, 1955. Play something good, huh, Hank Williams?
They broke the door down before I could take request.
Was it worth 2 weeks in the hole?
Easiest time I ever did.
Haywood.
Okie.
Haywood. Yeah. Shit, no such thing as an easy time in the hole. Shit, a week seems like a year.
Well, I had Mr. Mozart to keep me company. Hardly felt the time at all.
Oh, they let you tote that record player down there, huh? I could have swore they confiscated that stuff.
The music was here and here. That's the one thing they can't confiscate. Not ever. That's the beauty of it. Haven't you ever felt that way about music, Red?
I mean, I played a mean harmonica as a young man. I lost my taste for it. Didn't make much sense on the inside.
Here's where it makes the most sense. We need it so we don't forget
Forget?
that there are things in this world not carved out of gray stone. That there's a small place inside of us that can never be locked away. And that place is called hope.
Now, let me tell you about that place called hope. Hope is a dangerous thing. To drive a man insane, it's got no place here. Better get used to that idea.
Yeah, like Brooks did.
You fade to black. Shawshank hearing room, 1957. Red enters, 10 years older than when we first saw him at the parole hearing. He removes his cap and sits. It says here you've served 30 years of a life sentence. You feel like you've been rehabilitated?
Yes, sir, without a doubt. I can say I'm a changed man. No longer a danger to society. That's God's honest truth. Absolutely rehabilitated.
Close up the parole form, rejected. We're in the prison yard. Red emerges into the fading daylight. Andy's waiting for him.
Same old, same old. 30 years. Jesus, when you say it like that.
You wonder where it went. I wonder where 10 years went.
Damn right.
Red nods solemnly. They settle in on the bleachers. Andy pulls a small box from his sweater and hands it to Red. Anniversary gift. Open it.
Red does. Inside the box on a thin layer of cotton is a shiny new harmonica. Bright aluminum and circus red.
Had to go through one of your competitors. Hope you don't mind. Wanted it to be a surprise.
It's very pretty, Andy. Thank you.
Well, you going to play something?
No, not today.
Red regards the harmonica like a man confronted with a Martian artifact. He considers trying it out, even holds it briefly. Holds it to his lips, almost embarrassed. Puts it back in the box. There the harmonica will stay.
Andy was as good as his word. He kept writing to the state senate. 2 letters a week instead of 1. In 1959, the folks up Augusta Way finally clued into the fact that they couldn't buy him off with just a $200 check. Appropriations Committee voted in an annual payment of $500 just to shut him up. Those checks came in once a year like clockwork.
We see Andy at the desk munching thoughtfully as he totals up figures on an adding machine.
There was Andy, keeping the books.
He finishes preparing 2 bank deposits. Norton hovers near the desk, keeping a watchful eye.
2 deposits, Costco Bank and New England First, and a night drop, like always.
Norton pockets the envelopes. Andy crosses to the wall safe and shoves swings his wife's frame sampler back into place. He caught in the corner.
Get my stuff down to laundry. 2 suits for dry clean and a bag of whatnot. Tell them if they overstarch my shirts again, they're going to hear about it from me. How do I look?
Very nice.
Big charity to do up Portland way. Governor's going to be there. Want the rest of that? Woman can't bake worth shit.
Prison corridor at night. Andy trudges down the corridor with Norton's laundry, the pie box under his arm.
He just dropped out. Shall I read? Or would Izzy like to do it?
Where are we?
Andy trudges down the
Down
corridor.
the corridor with Norton's laundry and the pie box under his arm. Library, day, 1965. Tilt up from the pie to find Red munching away as he helps Andy sort books from the shelves. Man's got his fingers in a lot of pies from what I hear.
What you hear isn't half of it. He's got scams you haven't dreamed of. Kickbacks on his kickbacks. There's a river of dirty money flowing through this place, Red.
Andy, money like that can be a problem. Sooner or later, you gotta explain where it came from.
That's where I come in. I channel it, funnel it, filter it. Stock, security, tax-free municipals. I send that money out into the big world, and when it comes back,
It's as clean as a virgin's whistle.
cleaner. By the time Norton retires, I will have made him a millionaire.
Jesus, Andy, if they ever catch on, he's gonna wind up in here wearing a number himself.
I thought you had more faith in me than that.
Well, I'm sure you're good, but then all that paper leaves a trail. Somebody gets too curious, the FBI, IRS, whatever. That trail's gotta lead to somebody.
Sure it will, but not to me, and certainly not to the warden.
Well, who then?
Peter Stevens,
Who?
the silent partner. He's the guilty one, Your Honor. The man with the bank accounts. That's where the filtering process starts. They trace it back. All they're going to find is him.
Yeah, Andy, okay, but who the hell is he?
A phantom. An apparition. Second cousin to Harvey the Rabbit. I conjured him up out of thin air, Red. He doesn't exist, except on paper.
Andy, you just can't make a person up.
Sure you can. If you know how the system works and where the cracks are. It's amazing what you can accomplish by mail. Mr. Stevens has a birth certificate, a social security card, driver's license. They ever track those accounts, they'll wind up chasing a figment of my imagination.
Jesus, did I say you were good? You were Rembrandt.
It's funny, Red. On the outside, I was an honest man, straight as an arrow. I had to come to prison to be a crook.
Two siren blasts draw their attention to the main gate. It swings open, revealing a prison bus waiting outside. Among those on board is Tommy Williams, a damn good-looking kid in his mid-20s. The bus rumbles through the gate. The new patient disembark, chained together single file. The old-timers holler and shake the fence, a deafening gauntlet. Cell block 8 at night, Tommy and the others are marched in naked and shivering, covered with a delousing powder, greeted by taunts and jeers.
Yeah, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, put you on a plate and sop you up with a biscuit.
Cigarette
Yeah.
after you.
Tommy Williams came to Shawshank in 1965 on a 2-year stretch for a B&E. Cops caught him sneaking TV sets out the back door of a J.C. Penney. Young punk Mr. Rock and Roll. Cocky as hell.
Tommy's hauling the cut wood off the conveyor and stacking it. It's a ball-busting job, but the kid's a blur.
Come on there, old boys. Moving like molasses. Making me look bad.
The old guys just grin and shake their heads.
We liked him immediately.
We're in the mess hall where Tommy regales the old boys with his exploits.
I'm backing out the door, right? Had the TV like this. Big old thing. Couldn't see shit. Suddenly, here's this voice. Freeze, kid! Hands in the air. Well, I just stand there holding on that TV. So the voice says, "You hear what I said, boy?" I said, "Yes, sir, I sure did. But if I drop this fucking thing, you got me on destruction of property, too."
In the interior of the library at day. Poker game in progress. Tommy, Andy, Red, and the boys.
You did a stretch in Cashman, too? Yeah, that was an easy ride. Let me tell you, work programs, weekend furloughs, not like here.
Sounds like you did time all over New England.
Been in and out since I was 13. Name the place. Chances are I've been there.
Perhaps it's time you consider a new profession. What I mean is, you don't seem to be a very good thief. Maybe you should try something else.
What the hell you know about it, Capone? What are you in for?
Everyone's innocent in here. Don't you know that?
As it turns out, Tommy had himself a young wife and a new baby girl.
Tommy enters, the strut gone from his death, a little scared. Finds Andy phoning library cards.
Whatever it was, something lit a fire under that boy's ass.
I'm thinking maybe I should try for a high school equivalency. Here you help some fellas with that?
I don't waste my time on losers, Tommy.
I ain't no goddamn loser.
Well, that's a good start. If we do this, we do it all the way. 100%. Nothing half-assed. You get me?
Tommy thinks about it, nods.
Mm-hmm. Thing is, see, I don't read all that good.
Well, you come to the right place then.
In the library, we find Andy giving impassioned reading.
In the lamplight, o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
Andy slaps the book shut, immensely pleased with himself.
So this raven, it just sits there and it won't go away?
That's right.
Why don't you fellas get yourself a 12 gauge and dust that fucker?
In the library in the day 1965.
So Andy took Tommy under his wing, started walking him through his ABCs. Tommy took to it pretty well, too. Boy found brains he never knew he had. Before long, Andy started him on his course requirements. He really liked the kid. That was part of it. Gave him a thrill to help a youngster crawl off the shit heap. But that wasn't his only reason. Prison time is slow time. Sometimes feels like stop time. So you gotta do what you can do to keep going. Some fellas collect stamps, others build matchstick houses. Andy built a library. Now he needed a new project. Tommy was it.
In the library, Tommy's taking the big test. Andy clears his throat. Time's up. Tommy puts his pencil down.
Well,
it's for shit. Wasted a whole fucking year of my time with this bullshit.
I know. Maybe not as bad as you think, Tommy.
Oh, it's worse. I didn't get a fucking thing right. Might as well be in Chinese.
All right, well, let's just see how the store comes out.
I'll tell you how the goddamn score comes out. 2 points. Right there. There's your goddamn score. Goddamn cats crawling up trees. 5 times 5 is 25. Man, fuck this place. I say fuck it.
Tommy's gone. Red another stare. Andy gets up, pulls the test from the trash. He smooths it out on the desk. We fade to the wood shop where there's a rest break and Tommy and Red sipping cokes.
I feel bad. I let him down.
That's crap, son. He's proud of you. Proud as a hen. We've been friends a long time. I know him as good as anybody.
Smart fella, ain't he?
Smart as they come. Used to be a banker on the outside.
What's he in for anyway?
Murder.
The hell you say?
You wouldn't think. Looking at him. Caught his wife in bed with some golf pro. Greased them both. Come on, boy. Back to work.
Red turns back. Tommy's Coke has slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. Kid's gone white as a sheet.
Oh my God.
Tear of the library at day. Tommy sits before Andy and Red.
About 4 years ago, I was in Thomaston on a 2 to 3 stretch. Stole a car. Some fuck thing to do. A few months left to go. I get a new cellmate in. Elmo Blatch. Big twitchy fucker. Crazy eyes. Kind of roomy you pray you don't get. Know what I'm saying? 6 to 12 for armed burglary. Said he done hundreds of jobs. Hard to believe. High strung as he was. Cut a loud fort. He'd go 3 foot in the damn air. Talked all the time, too. That's the other thing. Never shut up. Places he'd been, jobs he'd pulled, women he'd fucked, even people he'd killed. People that gave him shit. That's how he put it. One night, like a joke, I say, yeah, who'd you kill? So he says, well, I got me this job one time, bussing tables at a country club. So I case all the big rich pricks that come in. I pick out this guy, go in one night and do his place. He wakes up and gives me shit. So I killed him. Him and his tasty bitch he was with. That's the best part. She's a fucking, this prick, this golf pro, but she's married to some other guy. Some hot shot banker. He's the one they pinned it on. They got him down Maine somewhere doing time for the crime. Ain't that the shit?
He throws his head back and roars. And we fade to the prison library. Tommy's finished his story. Red's stunned. But Andy looks like he's been smacked with a 2x4.
Andy?
Andy says nothing, walks stiffly away and doesn't look back. We fade to Norton's office in the day.
Well, I have to say that's the most amazing story I've ever heard. What amazes me most is you were taken in by it.
Sir?
It's obvious this fellow Williams is impressed with you. He hears your tale of woe, and quite naturally, he wants to cheer you up. He's young, not terribly bright. Not surprising he didn't know what a state he'd put you in.
I think he's telling the truth.
Let's say for a moment Blatch does exist. Do you think he'd just fall to his knees and cry, "Yes, I did it, I confess, by all means, please add a life term to my sentence"?
It wouldn't matter. Not with Tommy's testimony. I could get a new trial.
That's assuming Blatch is even still there. Chances are excellent he'd be released by now. Excellent.
They'd have his last known address, names of relatives. Well, it's a chance, isn't it? How can you be so obtuse?
What? What did you call me?
Obtuse. Is it deliberate? The country club will have his old time card, W-2s, with his name on them.
Dufresne, if you want to indulge in this fantasy, that's your business. Don't make it mine. This meeting's over.
Look, if it's the squeeze, don't worry. I'd never say what goes on in here. I'd be just as indictable as you for laundering the money.
Don't you ever mention money to me again, you sorry son of a bitch. Not in this office, not anywhere. Get in here, now.
I was just trying to rest your mind at ease, that's all.
Solitary, a month.
What?
Andy gets dragged away, kicking and screaming.
What's the matter with you? It's my chance to get out of here. Don't you see that? It's my life. Don't you understand? It's my life.
In the prison yard, it's mail call. Men crowd around as names are called out. Fred and the boys are parked on the bleachers.
A month in the hole. Longest damn stretch I ever heard of.
It's my fault.
Like hell. You didn't pull the trigger and you didn't convict him.
Red, you saying Andy's innocent? I mean, for real innocent? Sweet Jesus, how long's he been in here?
Since 47, going on 19 years.
Thomas Williams.
Thomas Williams. Tommy raises his hand. The envelope gets tossed to him. He stares at it. Red peers over his shoulder.
Board of Education.
The son of a bitch mailed it.
Looks that way. You're going to open it or you're going to stick your thumb up your butt?
Thumb up my butt sounds better.
He gets hemmed in by the older men.
Come
Red
on.
snatches the letter.
Come on, just throw it away, will you please? Just throw it away.
Red rips it open, scans the letter, expressionless.
Well, shit.
It's the interior of the visitor's room where Tommy makes his way through the chaos. He finds Beth and the baby waiting behind the thick plexi shield. He sits, doesn't pick up the phone. He just stares at Beth. She doesn't know what to make of it. He presses a piece of paper against the glass. High school diploma. Her face lights up, blinking back tears. Solitary wing, low angle on the steel door. Somewhere behind it, unseen, is Andy. A rat scurries along the wall. Footsteps approach slowly. Andy listens in darkness. The footsteps pause outside his door. The slot opens. An elderly guard peers in.
Kid passed. C+ average. Thought you'd like to know.
The slot closes. Footsteps recede. Andy smiles. Prison corridor at night. We find Tommy on the evening work detail mopping the floors with a bucket and pail. Mert, erstwhile, comes into view.
Warden wants to talk.
A steel door rattles open and Mert leads Tommy outside to a gate and unlocks it. Tommy looks around.
Out here?
That's what the man said.
Mert swings the gate open, sends Tommy through, turns and heads back inside. Tommy proceeds out across a loading dock access for the shops and mills. Some vehicles parked. The place is deserted. He stops, sensing a presence.
Warden?
Norton steps into the light.
Tommy, we've got a situation here. I think you can appreciate that.
Yes, sir. I sure can.
I tell you, son, this really came along and knocked my wind out. It's got me up nights, that's the truth.
Norton pulls a pack of cigarettes, offers Tommy a smoke. Tommy takes one. Norton lights both cigarettes, pockets his lighter.
The right decision. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what that is, you understand? Think hard, Tommy. If I'm going to move on this, there can't be the least little shred of doubt. I have to know if what you told Dufresne, what was the truth.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Would you be willing to swear before a judge and jury, having placed your hand on the good book and taken an oath before the Almighty God himself?
Just give me that chance.
That's what I thought.
Norton drops his cigarette, brushes it out with the toe of his shoe. He glances up toward the plate shop roof as you see a rifle scope popping into frame. The sniper rapid fires a carbine. Bam! Bam! His face lit up by the muzzle flash. His Captain Hadley. Tommy gets chewed to pieces by the gunfire. He smacks the ground in a twitching, thrashing heap, eyes wide and staring. Dead surprise still stamped on his face. Silence. Norton strolls into the darkness. Solitary wing guards approach Andy's cell. The cell door is unlocked. Andy emerges slowly, blinking painfully at the sight. Andy is marched along. Convicts stop and stare. We fade to Norton's office in the day. Andy's let in. The door's closed, along with Norton.
Terrible thing. Man that young, less than a year ago, trying to escape. Broke Captain Hadley's heart to shoot him. Truly it did.
I'm done. It stops right now. Go get H&R Block to declare your income.
Nothing stops. Nothing. Or you will do the hardest time there is. No more protection from the guards. I'll pull you out of that $1 Hilton and you'll be with the biggest bull queer I can find. You think you got fucked by a train. And the library, gone. Sealed off brick by brick. We'll have us a little book barbecue in the backyard. They'll see flames for miles. We'll dance around it like wild Indians. Do you understand me? Are you catching my drift?
Andy's face and eyes are hollow. His beaten expression says it all. The next day in the prison yard, we find Red sitting in the shadow of the high stone wall, poking listlessly through the dust for small pebbles.
You know, my wife used to say I'm a hard man to know. Like a closed book. She complained about it all the time. She was so beautiful. I loved her. But I guess I couldn't show it enough. Basically, I killed her, Red.
Andy finally glances to Red, seeking a reaction.
I didn't pull the trigger, but I drove her away. That's why she died. Because of me. Because of the way that I am.
That don't make you a murderer, Andy. A bad husband, maybe. Feel bad about it if you want, but you didn't pull that trigger.
No, I didn't. Someone else did, and I wound up in here. Bad luck, I guess.
Bad luck? Jesus.
Think you'll ever get out of here?
Sure. When I got a long white beard and about 3 marbles left rolling around upstairs.
Yeah. I'll tell you where I'd go. I'd go to Zihuatanejo.
Zihuatanejo?
Yeah, it's in Mexico, a little place right on the Pacific. You know what the Mexicans say about the Pacific? They say it has no memory. That's where I'd like to finish out my life, Red. A warm place with no memory. Open a little hotel right on the beach. Buy some worthless old boat. Fix it up like new. Take my guests out, charter fishing. You know, a place like that, I'd need a man who can get things.
Red stares at Andy. Laughs.
Jesus, Andy. I couldn't hack it on the outside. I've been in here too long. I'm an institutional man now, like old Brooks Hatlen was.
You underestimate yourself.
Bullshit. And here I'm the guy who can get it for you. Out there, all you need are the yellow pages. I wouldn't even know where to start. Shit, in the Pacific Ocean, hell, I'd like to. It'd scare me half to death, something that big.
Well, not me. I didn't shoot my wife, and I didn't shoot her lover. And whatever mistakes I've made, I've paid for them and then some. That hotel, that boat, I don't think it's too much to want. To look at the stars just after sunset, touch the sand, wade in the water, to feel free.
God damn it, Andy, stop. Don't do that to yourself, talking shitty pipe dreams. Mexico's down there and you're in here. That's the way it is.
Yeah, you're right. It's down there and I'm in here. Well, I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living or get busy dying.
Red snaps look. What the hell does that mean? Andy rises and walks away. Red lunges to his feet.
Andy?
Tell you what, Red, if you ever get out of here, do me a favor. There's this big hayfield up near Buxton. You know where Buxton is?
Yeah, there's a lot of hayfields there.
This one in particular, it's got a long rock wall with a big oak at the north end, like something out of a Robert Frost poem. It's where I asked my wife to marry me. We'd gone for a picnic. We made love under that tree, and I asked her, and she said yes. Promise me, Red, if you ever get out, find that spot. At the base of that wall, you'll find a rock that has no earthly business in Maine hayfield. A piece of black volcanic glass. You'll find something buried under it. I want you to have it.
What? What's buried there?
Well, you'll just have to pry it up and open that box and see.
Andy turns and walks away, and we fade to the mess hall in the day.
I tell you, the man was talking crazy. I'm really worried about him. I truly am.
We ought to keep an eye on him.
That's fine during the day, but at night he's got that cell all to himself.
Oh, Lord. Andy, come on down to the loading dock today. Ask me for a length of rope 6 foot long.
Shit, and you gave it to him?
Sure I did. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Christ, remember Brooks Hatlen?
How the hell was I supposed to know?
They'd never do that, never.
They all look to Red.
Every man's got a breaking point.
We fade to Norton's office. Andy's working away. Norton pokes his head in.
Lickety split. I want to get home.
Just about done, sir.
We follow Norton to his wife's sampler. He swings it aside, works the combination dial, opens the wall safe. Andy looks up, shoves in the black ledger and files, and Norton shuts the safe.
3 deposits tonight.
Andy hands in the envelopes. Norton heads for the door.
Get my stuff down to laundry. And shine my shoes. I want them looking like mirrors. Nice having you back, Andy. Place just wasn't the same without you.
Andy's cell at night. Lights bump off. He gazes up at Raquel and smiles, pulls a 6 foot length of rope from under his pillow, lets it uncoil to the floor. Red cell, we see him in the dark, bundled of nerves, trying to hold himself still. He feels like he might scream or shake to pieces. Seconds tick by, each an eternity.
I've had some long nights in a stir, alone in the dark with nothing but your thoughts. Time can draw out like a blade.
Flash of lightning. Storm is breaking.
That was the longest night of my life.
Cell block 5 in the morning. A thump. The master lock is thrown. Cons emerge from their cells and the head count begins. Red looks back to see if Andy's in line. He's not. Suddenly the count stalls.
Man missing on tier 2, cell 12.
What? Dufresne! Get your ass out here, boy! You're holding up my show! That little motherfucker. Don't make me come down there now! I'll thump your skull for you!
Still no answer. He's glaring. Haig stalks down the tier. Clipboard in hand. His men falling behind.
Dufresne! Damn it! You're putting me behind! You better be sick or dead in there! I shit you not!
They arrive at the bars and their faces go slack, stunned.
What the? Oh my God!
The cell is empty. Everything's neat and tidy. Even the bunk is stowed. They wrench the door open and rush in, tossing the cell in a panic as if Andy might be lurking under the Kleenex or toothpaste. In Norton's office, he's kicking back with the morning paper. He notices how dingy his shoes are. He glances at the shoebox on the desk, kicks his shoes off, opens the box, and pulls out Andy's grimy work shoes. He stares blankly. What the fucking D? An alarm starts blaring throughout the prison. He looks up. Norton and Hadley striding across the grounds, alarm blazing.
I want every man on that cell block questioned. Start with that friend of his.
Interior cell block 5. Red watches as Norton storms up with an entourage of guards.
Him.
Red's eyes widen. Guards yank him from his cell. Over in Andy's cell, Norton steps to the center of the room, working himself up in a fine rage.
What do you mean he just wasn't here? Don't say that to me, Haig. Don't say that to me again.
Norton grabs the clipboard and thrusts it at Hadley.
What about you? You blind? Tell me what this is.
Last night's count.
You see Dufresne's name? I sure do. Right there, see? Dufresne. He was in his cell at lights out. Stands to reason he'd still be here this morning. I want him found. Not tomorrow, not after breakfast, now.
Haig scurries out, gathering men. Norton spins to Red.
Well?
Well, what?
I see you two all the time. You're thick as thieves, you are. He must have said something.
No, sir, he didn't.
Norton spreads his arms evangelist style, spins slowly around.
Lord, it's a miracle. Man up and vanished like a fart in the wind. Nothing but some damn rocks on the windowsill and that cupcake on the wall. Let's ask her. Maybe she knows. What say there, fuzzy britches? Feel like talking? Guess not. Why should you be any different?
Red exchanges looks with the guards. Even they're nervous. Norton scoops a handful of rocks off the sill. He hurls them at the wall one at a time, shattering them, puncturing his words.
It's a conspiracy! That's what this is! It's one big damn conspiracy! And everyone's in on it! Including her!
He sends the last rock whizzing right at Raquel. No smash. Takes a moment for this to sink in. All eyes go to her. The rock went through her. There's a small hole in the poster where her navel used to be. You can hear a pin drop. Norton reaches up, sinks his finger into the hole. He keeps pushing, and his entire hand disappears into the wall to reveal a long, crumbling tunnel.
In 1966, Andy Dufresne escaped from Shawshank Prison. All they found of him was a muddy set of prison clothes, a bar of soap, and an old rockhammer, worn down damn near to the nub. I remember thinking it would take 600 years to tunnel through the wall with it. Andy did it less than 20. As it turns out, Andy's favorite hobby was toting his wall into the exercise yard, one handful at a time.
Loading dock. Angle looking straight down below as Tommy Williams lies face down at Norton's feet. Blood is spreading, fanning out on the pavement. Norton turns, strolls out of the frame.
I guess after Tommy was killed, Andy decided he'd been here just about long enough.
We see Andy working. Norton pokes his head in.
Lickety split. I want to get home.
Just about done, sir.
Norton crosses to the wall safe and works the dial. His back's turned. This time, though, we stay on Andy. He pulls up his sweater, yanks out a large black book and a stack of files, lays them on the desk. He then grabs the real ledger and files, jams them down his pants and smooths down the sweater. He picks up the bogus stack, crosses to Norton, and shoves everything in. Norton exits his office and strolls off whistling. Push in on the open door. You see Andy at the guard's desk, pulling Norton's dress shoes from their box.
Andy did like he was told, buffed those shoes to a high mere shine.
In Norton's office minutes later, Andy sorts through Norton's 3 suits. He pauses, checking the gray pinstripe. Nice. Cell block 5 at night. Guard buzzes Andy through. Andy walks toward us.
The guard simply didn't notice. Well, neither did I. I mean, seriously, how often do you look at a man's shoes?
Yep, he's wearing Norton shoes.
Andy crawled through freedom through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine. Or maybe I just don't want to.
Fingers appear, thrusting through the heavy gauge wire mesh covering the mouth of the pipe. Andy's face looms from the darkness, peering out at freedom. He wrenches the mesh loose, pushes himself out, and plunges headfirst into the creek. He comes up sputtering for breath, water's waist deep. He raises his arms to the sky, turning slowly, feeling the rain washing him clean. Triumphant, flash of light. We fade to the bank in Casco in Portland. The door opens, spit shine shoes enter.
A man nobody ever laid eyes on before strolled into the Casco Bank of Portland. Until that moment, he didn't exist, except on paper.
May I help you?
Norton's gray pinstripe suit.
My name is Peter Stevens. I've come to close out some accounts.
The teller is cutting the cashier's check with the manager carefully examining Mr. Stevens' various IDs.
He had all the proper IDs, driver's license, birth certificate, social security card, and the signature was a spot-on match.
I must say, I'm sorry to be losing your business, sir. I hope you'll enjoy living abroad.
Well, thank you. I'm sure I will.
Here's your cashier's check, sir. Would there be anything else?
Please, would you add this to your outgoing mail?
He hands her a package stamped and addressed, gives them a pleasant smile, turns and strolls from the bank.
Mr. Stevens visited nearly a dozen banks in the Portland area that morning. All told, he blew town with better than $370,000 of Warden Norton's money. Severance pay for 19 years.
Interior of the office and day, a man in shirt sleeves is going through the mail on his desk. He finds Andy's package and rips it open. Pulls out the black ledger and file, scans a cover letter. Holy shit. He dashes to the door and yanks it open, revealing on the world glass Portland Daily Bugle editor-in-chief.
Hal, Dave, get your butts in here!
Norton's walking slowly toward his office. He's dazed, the morning paper in his hand. He goes wordlessly past the duty guard into his office and shuts the door, lays the paper on his desk. The headline reads, Corruption and Murder at Shawshank. DA has ledger indictments expected. Norton looks up as sirens swell in the distance. Norton opens his safe and pulls out the ledger. It's Andy's Bible. The title page is inscribed by hand. Dear Warden, you were right. Salvation lay within. Norton flips to the center of the book. He finds the page is hollowed out in the shape of a rockhammer. Police cruisers everywhere, a media circus. Reporters jostle for position. A colorless district attorney steps forward in the close-up, flanked by the contingent of state troopers.
Byron Hadley?
You see Hadley staring, waiting.
You have the right to remain silent. If you give up that right, anything you say will be used against you in a court.
Troopers move in, cuffing Hadley, hands behind his back. The DA drones on, flash bulbs pop. Hadley says nothing. His face scrunches up. He begins to cry.
I wasn't there to see it, but I hear Byron Hadley was sobbing like a little girl when they took him away.
Norton staring out the window as they approach the building. He goes to his desk, opens a drawer. Inside lies a revolver and a box of shells.
Norton had no intention of going that quietly.
The DA marches along amidst the phalanx of troopers. Norton sits blankly at his desk, revolver before him. The doorknob rattles.
Samuel Norton, we have a warrant for your arrest. Open up!
I'd like to think the last thing that went through Norton's head that day, other than that bullet, was to wonder how in the hell Andy Dufresne ever got the best of him. Not long after the warden deprived us of his company, I got a postcard in the mail. It was blank, but the postmark said McNary, Texas.
In the library, Red sits with an atlas, tracing his finger down the page.
McNary, right on the border. That's where Andy crossed. When I picture him heading south in his own car with the top down, it makes me laugh all over again.
We're on a Mexican highway in the day. A red convertible rips along with Andy at the wheel, cigar jutting from his grin, warm and fluttering his tie.
Andy Dufresne, who called through a river of shit and came out clean on the other side. Andy Dufresne, headed for the Pacific. Those of us who knew him best talk about him often. I swear the stuff he pulled, it always makes us laugh. Sometimes it makes me sad, though, Andy being gone. I have to admit myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged is all. The feathers are just too bright.
A distant rumble of thunder. Rhett pauses, gazes off. Storm clouds coming in, backlit by the sun, a light drizzle.
I guess I just miss my friend.
An iron-barred door slides open with enormous clang. Stark room beyond. 6 men and 1 woman sit at a long table. An empty chair faces them. We are again in the hearing rooms. Red enters. 20 years older. Your file says you served 40 years of a life sentence. You feel you've been rehabilitated? Red doesn't answer, just stares off, and seconds tick by. Parole board exchange glances. Somebody clears his throat. Shall I repeat the question?
I heard you, Sonny. Rehabilitated. Well, let's see now. You know, come to think of it, I have no idea what that means.
Well, it means you're ready to rejoin society, sir.
I know what you think it means, Sonny Jim. To me, it's just a made-up word. A politician's word. A word so young fellas like you can wear a suit and a tie and have a job. What do you really want to know? Am I sorry for what I did?
Well, are you?
Not a day that goes by that I don't feel regret. Not because I'm in here or because you think I should. I look back at myself the way I was. Stupid kid. Did that terrible crime. Wish I could talk to some sense into him. Tell him how things are. But I can't. That kid's long gone and this old man that's left. And then I have to live with that. So, rehabilitated? That's a bullshit word. So you just go ahead and stamp that form there, Sonny, and stop wasting my time. Because truth is, I don't give a shit.
The parole board just stares. Red sits drumming his finger. Close up on the parole form. A big rubber stamp slams down and lifts away to reveal the words approved in red ink. We see Red leaving the The prison in his cheap suit, carrying a cheap bag, wearing a cheap hat. He walks out, still looking stunned. He's riding that same bus, and he arrives at the Brewster, 3 stories high. The black woman leads Red up the stairs to the top floor. It's old and dingy. An arched window with a view of Concord Street. Carved into the wood are the words Brooke Hatlen was here. He's working at the foodway, and it's loud, jangling with people. We see Red bagging groceries. Registers are humming, kids are shrieking. Red calls to the store manager.
Sir, restroom break, sir?
You don't need to, every time you need to take a piss, just go. Employee restroom. Red steps to the urinal, stares at himself in the wall mirror.
30 years I've been asking permission to piss. I can't squeeze a drop without say-so.
He's bagging groceries in the grip of a major anxiety attack.
There's a hard truth to face. No way I'm going to make it on the outside. All I do anymore is think of ways to break my parole. Terrible thing to live in fear. Brooks Hadley knew it all too well. All I want is to be back where things make sense. Where I don't have to be afraid all the time.
He glances up at the ceiling beam. Brooke Hatlen was here.
Only one thing stops me. A promise I made to Andy.
Walking, searching, the day turning late. Red finds himself staring at a distant field. There's a long rock wall, like something out of a Robert Frost poem. Big oak tree. Red checks his compass. He crosses a dirt road into the field. Red walks along the rock wall, nearing the tree. Squirrel scolds him from a low branch. Red studies the base of the wall. There's nothing unusual here. Just a bunch of rocks and stone. Something catches his eye. He leans down, solves the mystery at last, staring at the object buried under the rock. An envelope wrapped in plastic, written on in a single word, Red.
Dear Red, if you're reading this, you've gotten out. And if you've come this far, maybe you're willing to come a little further. You remember the name of the town? I could use a good man to help me get my project on wheels. I'll keep an eye out for you and the chessboard ready. Remember, Red, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I will be hoping that this letter finds you and finds you well. Your friend, Andy.
By now, tears are spilling silently down Red's cheeks. He opens the other envelope and finds out a stack of new $50 bills, 20 of them $1,000. Red's dressed in the suit. He finishes knotting his tie. His bag's by the door. He takes one last look around. Only one thing left to do. He pulls a wooden chair to the center of the room and gazes up at the ceiling beam.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
He steps. He steps up on the chair, wobbles under his weight. The interior of Brewster. Red's door at day. The door opens. Red exits with his bag and heads down the stairs, leaving the door open. We see the ceiling beam, which reads, Brooks Hatlen was here. A new message has been carved alongside the old. So was Red. Gorgeous New England landscape whizzing by. Hills and trees blur motion. We finally come to Red gazing out at a passing landscape.
I find I'm so excited I can barely sit still or hold a thought in my head. I think it's the excitement only a free man can feel. a free man at the start of a long journey whose conclusion is uncertain. I hope I can make it across the border. I hope I can see my friend and shake his hand. I hope the Pacific is as blue as my dreams. I hope.
We fade to the beach, a wide panoramic shot. Distant boat lies on its side in the sand like an old wreck that's been left to rot in the sun. There's someone out there. A man is meticulously stripping the old paint and varnish by hand. Face hidden with goggles and kerchief mask. Red appears in the background, a distant figure walking out across the sand, wearing his cheap suit and carrying his cheap bag. The man on the boat pauses, turns slowly around. Red arrives with a smile as wide as the horizon. And the other man raises his goggles and pulls down his mask. Andy, of course.
Well, you look like a man who knows how to get things.
I'm known to locate things time to time.
Red shrugs off his jacket and picks up a sander. Together, they start sanding the hole as we fade out the end. Yeah, there you have it. A compelling tale of the Shawshank Redemption.
Fantastic.
Brought to you
Whew.
Great job, guys.
for our live here.
Yes, great job, everybody. Thanks,
We
everybody,
hope
for
you've
coming.
enjoyed this immersive experience as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Hey, but before we bid you farewell, it's time for our special giveaway announcement. One
That's
lucky
right.
winner will soon possess a unique memento from this unforgettable evening. Also,
All
we
right.
want to extend our deepest gratitude to our dedicated cast, crew, and of course to you, our wonderful audience. Your support makes events like these possible. Thanks for joining us in this remarkable reading of the Shawshank Redemption.
All right, Scully,
Take it
whenever
away,
you're ready,
man.
we'll do the drawing.
And tell them again
Okay.
what we're drawing for.
We are doing a
Know if we got
drawing
a picture of
to
that.
win the oil painting of the end scene.
I think
Uh,
is that something you painted? Oki's got right there. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did
Miss
some
Nez
artwork.
Lover painted this for me.
That's some more of Nez's art right there.
This is
Thank
Wes.
you.
Yep.
I know you're prolific with your art, so
Thank you so
yes,
much.
the ending
Thanks.
scene we were giving away, right, with the boat.
That's right, with the
scene we just
boat
did,
and
huh?
with Andy and Red on the beach. That's right. Are we ready?
Critters, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The winner is Wisconsin Greg. Woo! Congratulations,
Oh, my God.
Wisconsin.
Congratulations, Greg.
Magnificent.
Awesome. Man, y'all did so good tonight.
It's Wisconsin. Wisconsin Greg show.
That's right. All right,
And
everybody.
don't forget,
Thank you so
we're gonna
much.
have an after party over at Nez's channel here in a few minutes.
That's right.
So,
Give me
y'all
about
go
15,
take a
20 to go to the
bathroom
bathroom,
break,
watch for my
take it easy for a minute.
notification.
And thank everybody for coming out tonight. I'm sorry I wasn't able to monitor the chat. I had some of my moderators taking care of that. Thank you for that. Any last words, anybody?
Hello,
I
Smoke
think y'all
Monitor.
did one of the best shows I've seen, so that was a lot of fun.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
good
it was a
time.
blast.
Devo did great. Bingus, wonderful. Caucasian, everybody. The Warden, Okie,
appreciate
man,
the
you pulled it
opportunity.
off like no other.
Thanks for letting me hang out with you guys and have fun, Scully and Izzy and all the great panelists.
It's always a
and everybody in the
pleasure,
chat room.
Bingus.
Thanks very
Pleasure
much.
to work with you, Bingus.
These are hardcore production. You know, we put a lot of work into this, and I thank you guys for that. So, look forward to more production. We're going to do the Grease classic production of Grease next, so keep that in mind. You're the one that won't.
Who gets to see Grease Lightning? My sister would just
You do.
lose her. She heard me singing Grease Lightning.
Lightning.
Go Grease
Well,
Lightning.
thanks,
go.
Thanks
There you
again.
go. There you go, Sasquatch. You're doing good right there.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks again, everybody. Wonderful job. Thank you to everybody who watched the rehearsals, who were here tonight to watch performance, and thank you to everybody who watches the replay. Thank you so much.
We
Okay,
appreciate
good deal, Nez. We'll see you over at your channel here in a few minutes.
Yeah, give me about
I'll
15,
be
20.
looking for you, darling. No
All
problem.
right. I love you guys. I love you too, Otto. Bye.
And let's give Izzy Pop a big hand behind the scenes there. She's been doing
Yay,
most of the work,
Izzy!
so don't forget about that.
Congratulations,
Easy
Greg.
job. I don't know how I could do this and that together and pull this production off. So it definitely takes a good team. And as you can hear, my voice is going out. So if you didn't hear already, yeah, I can't thank you guys enough. Look forward to more productions. We'll have some smaller shows where, you know, solo readings, maybe some duos, and we'll have bigger shows as well.
I appreciate the opportunity. I really do.
Caucasian, can't thank you enough. Steve-O and Scud team member up there. Oh my gosh.
Peace.
All right, Izzy, you want to close it out?
Yeah, throw me out. I can't figure out how to leave.
Throw them out.
Get out of here, Sasquatch.
Play the outro.
Tingle Grain